Good morning and happy Monday and happy December 1st to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Happy to be here on this 1st of December. You know, today is a very big day. Today is a very big day. Does anybody know what the 1st of December actually is? Something that I am very interested in. 1st of December. Think, what happens every year on December 1st? What does this day mark concerning one of my favorite hobbies? Does anybody know? If you don't know, no, don't say it. Can't say the words that Biggie Smalls says. What a special election is tomorrow, December 2nd, first day of Advent. That's not what I'm talking about, though it is the right answer to the question.
Do I know the answer?
You probably know the answer.
What
is December 1st? One of my favorite hobbies, one of my favorite something I follow closely. Weather. Brennan is getting warmer. Does anybody know what December 1st is regarding weather? Great guy Gary's got it. The end of hurricane season, which means today. Your favorite president will be taking credit for the fact that 0 hurricanes impacted the United States through the Gulf of America. That's right. You know, we changed it to the Gulf of America thanks to that caveman-looking woman. You look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. She looks like a Neanderthal, but she helped us get it renamed. You have the Gulf of America. There were no hurricanes. We said we're going to deport them. Reverse migration. It hit Jamaica. It hit a bunch of other people, but no hurricanes in the Gulf of America. All we really needed was a new president. Think about it. All we really needed was a new president. Cat Lady Kim is like Oak Island. Not everything is Oak Island. Most things are Oak Island. Not everything is Oak Island. No, it's not, as Melissa McGroin says, it's sports related. No, it's not sports related. It is the end of hurricane season. There you go. It is the end of hurricane season, and this year, despite all the hysterics from the climate hoaxers all over the place, despite all of those people screaming and Donald Trump is cutting all of the... Shh, quiet. There were no hurricanes. I think there were a couple tropical storms. There may have been 1 or 2 tropical storms down in the Gulf, but no hurricanes. How about it? So we're going to do that a little later today. We got a busy day today, but that's just every day. Every day, okay? Trump deported all the hurricanes. That's where we are. Okay, also on a real note, not just the weather, because let me be honest. I don't care what, I'm going to be very, very blunt. I don't care what you hear. We cannot control the weather. Well, cloud seeding is real. I didn't say it's not real. We can't control the weather, but we're going to have some fun with that today. So that is a little later. We're going to do that and make a little video later in the day of Donald Trump taking credit for there being no Gulf hurricanes this year. How about that? No hurricanes this year. Very interesting, and that's because of El Nino, La Nina. All sorts of things like that. You know, I saw somebody post a video, an actual video of clouds, like not the lines, the contrails and things, like actual puffy, just regular clouds. And they're like, what's going on in the sky? And I was like, you know what? You're onto something. We've never had those before. So we will be taking credit today for no Gulf hurricanes. How cool would it be if there were no hurricanes throughout the duration of Trump's second term? That would be pretty cool. But El Nino, La Nina, the different patterns, it was a tough go out there in the Atlantic. There was a lot of shear in the Atlantic. We have Misfit in the house.
Everyone knows Jews control the weather.
Everyone knows Jews control, yes. Well, Misfit's got the hotline. If you have bad weather, you got to tweet at him excessively and obsessively. You got to tweet at him, and he will put in a call to the Jews, who he has a very good relationship with, Misfit does, and he will have the weather changed in your area. I remember last year it snowed in Texas. His dog was very excited. Misfit was not excited. He called a couple of Jews, and the snow went away. So that's how that worked. And Marjorie Taylor Greene was right. Marjorie Taylor Greene was right. Okay. All right, here we go. Let us get into. By the way, for those of you who are concerned about the facts about the skies, Chris Martz, ChrisMartz, weather, WX on X. Follow him. He'll explain everything to you. Great guy, and he dunks on the climate lunatics all the time. So, all right, here we go. Let us make like a tree and leaf the conversation of weather, because we're going to have fun with weather a little bit later in the day and talk about reverse migration. Here's the thing, right? People are a little upset, or I feel like they're at this point kind of apprehensive to say, just get rid of everybody, get rid of them all. Look, I have no problem with legal immigration, okay? Like, you apply for citizenship, you apply to come to the United States, you're vetted, but it should not be easy to come here, period. It should not be easy to come into the United States, right? It is too easy right now to access the United States. You ever go out in the city, go to put it this way, a nice restaurant, right? Like a really, really high scale, upscale, high-end steakhouse. Is it easy to go there? No, you got to make a reservation. You got to make sure that you have enough money to pay the bill at the end of the night, right? When you talk about some of these, nightclubs where you got to be on a list, right, or things like that, there are exclusive. The United States should be like an exclusive membership that only the best of the best of the best get to enjoy. It should not. It is not our job. It has never been our job to be the world's caretaker and safety net and fallback plan for anybody having problems in another country. It just isn't. I had a lot of people this weekend, because my last name obviously looks like it's Middle Eastern. It has Turkish origins. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, you're going to have to leave too because of reverse migration. I was like, really? Born in Long Island, New York, I'm going to have to leave? Okay, so now you don't like birthright citizenship. That's fine. I'll compromise with you on that. I'm obviously the son of American citizens who are, in many cases, actually, no, they're sons of American citizens and daughters of American citizens as well. I think it's a couple generations back where, yes, our ancestors came off of a boat and came here the right way. And you know what happened? They provided value to this country. Right now, you've got the mass importation of freeloaders that are coming here. People who don't want to actually be American. They just want to enjoy some of the handouts that America currently distributes to these people. Totally different. It should not be easy to come to the United States. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. It should not be easy to come into the United States of America as an immigrant. Not anymore. We're full. We're full. Okay? So it is time now, and I'm happy to hear the administration say they're doing this, not only to, quote unquote, pause asylum claims for a long time, as they say, but I want the whole system ended. End it. End it. Reject anything that's pending. If there are people in our country who have asylum claims pending, those get rejected too. Load them up on a plane and send them out. For two reasons. For two reasons. Number one, there's no chance that they have been thoroughly vetted. That's not to say every single one of them is a risk, because I don't know if they are. Every single one of them is not a risk. I'm going to say that. Every single 100% of asylum seekers in our country, they're not all national security problems. I am sure that there is a very large number of people who are actually fleeing political persecution and hostility in their home country. And you know what? You have my sympathy. They have my sympathy. I'm just going to say, but it's not the job of the United States of America to take care of these people. You go, oh, well, international law says that asylum seeking is a human right. Okay, that's great. You know what international law means in the grand scheme of things? Nothing. It means nothing. There's no enforcement. Any law that can't be enforced isn't actually a law. We've said that a gajillion times on the show. That's not even a number. A gajillion. If the law is not enforced, it doesn't matter. Laws only matter when they're enforced. International law, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to Internationally, what are you're gonna fine the United States? What? You think so? There's going to be bad press? Yeah, because we don't have that already. What? International law? What are you going to do? You're gonna wag your finger at the USA? How dare you not take in asylum seekers? Okay, wag your finger all you want. We're still not taking them in. Like, I don't think you understand. This is the way to handle it. Oh, the world has a problem with it? I don't. You know what? The world's got a problem with it? Bang. Okay? That's what we do. If the world's got a problem with the United States saying we're not doing asylum anymore, we're not taking any asylum seekers, let the world cry about it. They don't have the power. They don't have the military power. They don't have the economic power. They don't have it. It is not our job. I see a comment, Topwater 39, martial law is coming down, get ready. No, it's not, and you don't want that. I'll make a deal with you. If you can show me 3 examples of a country that has given control to the military. If you could show me 3 examples of countries that have entered martial law, that the military has then given the power back peacefully back to the people, I'll say maybe it's a good idea. You don't want that. And we're repeating the same silliness that we did after 2020. The military is going to fix the elections. You don't want that. There is going to be you don't want that. This idea that martial law is the way we need to go, trust me, we essentially, you do not trade in your liberties for a false sense of security. You don't do that. You don't willfully say, all right, I trust the military. Here, you guys can run my life for a little bit. You're never getting power back. I'm just saying. That is the way it always breaks down when it comes to martial law. And you may be saying now, because there's a lot of emotions, we got to get it cleaned up. You don't want to do that. If you want to live in a military state, go to North Korea. Go to North Korea. You do not want the military enforcing law. You're never getting, I'm telling you right now, you're never getting power back. It's the same argument that a lot of people made during COVID. We'll wear the mask because we have to stay safe. You don't want it. And if you could show me three examples of countries that have gone down that road, that have come back from that hasn't devolved into third world chaos and complete and total authoritarianism and tyranny. Show me where that happened, and I'll say, okay, maybe we could do it the right way. It's like socialism, it's like communism. You don't want martial law. That's not to say you don't want laws enforced. You don't want martial law. You do not want to turn over authority to your military. That's not to say I don't like my military. That's not to say I don't trust Donald Trump. You never get power back when you do that. Ever. Okay? You don't want to do that. Okay. Let's take a quick break. We got to get to a word from a couple of our friends here. And then we'll talk about reverse migration. We'll talk about the issues that we have here in terms of the Afghan refugees. You know, there are 5,000, I think, was the number from the Department of Homeland Security, 5,000 Afghan refugees that were flagged as security risks in our country. And you're like, whoa, there were hundreds of thousands that came in. You're really going to let 5,000 spoil the rest? Yeah, I'm going to. 100%. I'm going to let 5,000 spoil. Yes, one bad apple spoils the bunch. You ever buy a bag of produce from the supermarket and there's one rotten onion, apple, potato, whatever it is in there? Do you eat anything in that bag? Well, it's not fair to the other potatoes. You know, those that's not fair to the other apples. The other apples aren't rotten. You know, you should just, well, you trust that? Brennan, if you buy a bag of apples or oranges or onions or potatoes from the supermarket and one of them's moldy, you throw the whole bag out.
I do?
Right?
For this analogy, sure. No, I usually just pluck out the bad one and use the rest.
That's not what I've seen. I've seen whole bags go out. That's fine. Oh. If there's a moldy thing. Moldy piece of bread on the loaf, whole loaf goes.
Bread, I'll throw the whole
Same
thing
deal.
out. But if there's a bad onion, I'll keep the rest.
Same deal. I'll tell you what, if I buy a bag of produce And
it depends on what the rest look like.
And there's mold on one, whole bag's done. And that's the way. That is the way we have to treat the asylum seekers right now. I'm sorry. Some people may say, "Oh, it's not nice." I'm not here to be nice. I want to save the country. Sometimes making these decisions, and doing these things requires, that we aren't necessarily nice all the time. Quick break. Exciting update from OFP Farms. They are our good friends. OFP Farms, Oscar Foxtrot, Papa Farms. Holiday gift sets are available now. Today's the last day of the Black Friday of Color sale. 30% off. I'll show you what's inside these boxes tomorrow because today's the last day. So if you want to see inside the box, you got to order one, or I'll show you tomorrow after the sale is over. But we want you to go over there. We want you to go ahead and get your hands on these holiday gift sets. They are amazing. Holiday gift sets are ready for shipping right now. OFP Farms is famous for their exceptional gift sets, and they've got plenty to choose from that fit the budget as well. But that's not all. The biggest news is that they are offering 30% off for Black Friday, and the sale starts right now. Load up on those Christmas gift sets, gifts for her, wellness boxes, beard and bath sets as well. Go to ofpfarms.com. The stock is limited, so you got to get in while the getting's good, or you're not going to get in at all. ofpfarms.com, ofpfarms.com, ofpfarms.com. Use the promo code Sean, SHAWN, for 30% off at the Black Friday event. ofpfarms.com. Sale ends today. Sale ends today. Sale ends today. ofpfarms.com. Promo code SHAWN for 30, not 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 30% off at OFP, Oscar Foxtrot, PapaFarms.com. All right, that's OFPfarms.com. Check them out. Today's the last day of the Black Friday sale. Also, speaking of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever it is you want to celebrate, Silent. It's Silent Monday. SLNT.com, SLNT.com, SLNT.com. Take back your privacy with Silent. Let's face it, your phone is a tracking device. Between government agencies, big tech, corporate data brokers, even cyber criminals, they're all fighting for a piece of your digital footprint, and they're not asking. They just go on and take it. That is why Silent exists. Silent makes Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, including cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, and no breadcrumbs. This is the same technology trusted by special operations teams worldwide, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. Now, all of that technology is available to you to protect your family, protect your freedom, and secure your digital footprint. Just drop your phone in a Silent Faraday sleeve, and it is off the grid, completely silent and invisible to the outside world. From their backpacks to their sleeves to their crossbodies, Silent's patented technology gives you control of your privacy. Visit slnt.com/SHAWN to save 15% and more. If you look on the right side of your screen, all the Black Friday deals right there. 15% off and free shipping on qualifying orders. That is silent.com, slnt.com/Sean, SHAWN. Protect your rights, secure your data, and stay one step ahead. Silent.com, slnt.com. Silence the chaos and go silent today. You know the deal. slnt.com. All right. Hey, over the weekend, crazy thing happened on Misfit's favorite platform, TikTok. It's his favorite. He loves that platform. It's his favorite platform. No, he hates that platform. And for good reason, by the way. For good reason, by the way. You know why? Because nonsense like this happens on that, not just like this. Remember about a year and a half ago, they were doing Osama's letter to America, right? And they were reading it. It was going viral, and it was all these young people doing that. Watch. Here you go. Here's another one. An Afghan national, another one. Another Afghan national has been freed, who was freed under Biden, arrested after he was making bomb threats on TikTok in Fort Worth, Texas. He was allegedly, we had to say allegedly. I mean, there's video of him doing it. So, but he was allegedly making these threats to turn his taxi. How stereotypical is that? Taxi into a car bomb. That's nice. An Afghan national admitted to the United States under President Biden's Operation Allies Welcome. I love this, right? I love this. They always use the term ally. You ever notice that? They use the term ally. When you stand up for the trans community, you're a trans ally. When you are a white person in the street with your fist in the air screaming Black Lives Matter, you're a black ally. You ever notice that? They use the term ally. It's kind of like war, right? It's kind of like they're putting you in the kind of thought process that you're at war. Comrade. That's a good one. Yes, comrade. We love Mother Russia. Zdravstvuyte, comrade. Okay. I don't know why I started doing Italian. It's Russian. Zdravstvuyte. What is this? What do we do? Yeah, you. So it's funny. Every time Brendan does a foreign accent, it's Indian.
No matter what I'm trying to do.
And every time Brendan sings a song,
Creed
it's Creed. She's like, have a holly jolly Christmas. I'm like, whoa, Scott Stapp's in the house, huh? That's great. She's like, jingle bells, jingle all the way. And I'm like, oh,
I don't even realize
and
what
I'm like,
doing.
Creed. She's like, I can't believe it. She's singing all these, it's either Creed or Toby Keith.
I really get into it.
But sometimes Toby Keith becomes
Creed.
Yeah. We'll put a boot in your ass. It's the American way. I'm like, jeez.
Hey, Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam, put your name. It's absolutely wild. All right, so here we go. Back to the meat and the potatoes of the show. We got to have a little fun, right? Got to have a little fun. An Afghan national admitted to the United States under President Biden's Operation Allies Welcome. The allies are welcome. Bring in all the allies. Who says they're allies? You're supposed to vet them, right? Remember Jen Psaki? Ain't no circle back girl. Ain't no circle back girl. Jen Psaki, she said they're all vetted. Don't worry, you bunch of racists. They're all vetted. How dare you question whether we're vetting people? All of them are vetted. Let me find that clip. I found it. It was there, and now it is not there. Where are you? Jen Psaki. There she is, right here. Boom.
We've talked about this a little bit, others have as well, but there are, of course, concerns among lawmakers, experts who've tracked this. They're saying previous arrivals of large numbers of refugees from different parts of the world, inevitably there may be a small handful, who are eventually deemed a security risk of some kind. What reassurances can you make about the screening process and the attempts to make sure that somebody like that doesn't make his or her way here?
I can absolutely assure you that no one is coming into the United States of America who has not been through a thorough screening and background check process.
Okay, thorough screening, background check process, and now you have this guy. This is the second one in a week that has caused problems here. Afghan refugee, Operation Allies Welcome. He posted a video on TikTok in which he appeared to be building a bomb and referenced Fort Worth as a target, according to the Department of Homeland Security. DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin reported the arrest of Mohammed Dawood Al-Akazeh. There you go. Saying he allegedly, you know what that is Arabic for get the out of my country. He allegedly posted a video on TikTok threatening to blow up a building in Fort Worth, Texas with a bomb. The Texas Department of Public Safety and the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force teamed up to make the arrest on charges of making terroristic threats. Yeah, he looks like a nice guy, huh? Doesn't this guy look like a nice guy? Just, one of those guys looking to assimilate. He's just going to do what they do, Al-Akazeh is an Afghan national who was pardoned into the United States by the Biden administration. His arrest came one day prior to the vicious attack on 2 West Virginia National Guard soldiers in Washington, D.C. by another Afghan national. WFAA ABC6 in Dallas reported that Al-Akazeh was booked into the Tarrant County Jail on November 25th. On November 28th, President Donald Trump declared he was going to end all migration from third world countries. By Breitbart, I'd say all migration from all countries. You know why? Because we're full. We're full. There are no vacancies. You go to a hotel and you're like, I need a room. I'm in a pinch. And they go, we have no rooms. You can't be like, yeah, but I'll clean your toilets. Let me sleep in a room. No, we're full. Nobody else can come in. Got it? Nobody. I don't care where they're from. They could be from the moon. They could be from Mars. They could be from some of the nicest countries in the world. You can't come in because we have no room for you. That's it. That's what equality looks like. It's not like, oh, yeah, we're going to take all the refugees. We're going to take, immigrants from Sweden, but we're not going to take them from Afghanistan. We're going to take immigrants from nowhere. Nowhere. Okay? We're full. We're full. Now, here is what Donald Trump had to say about asylum and what he plans to do with it. This was on Air Force One yesterday. There were some funny clips, by the way, from this yesterday, but this one was a pretty powerful one from Donald Trump.
Your administration made a lot of moves throughout the last few days after we know that Afghan national is the suspected shooter of these National Guardsmen.
Yeah, people that shouldn't be in our country this way.
So you announced that asylum.
And that includes Somalians and it includes plenty of others.
How long does your administration plan to pause asylum into the U.S.?
I think a long time.
Can you give any kind of time?
We don't want those people. We have enough problems. We don't want those people.
Is that a year, 2 years?
No no time limit,
And then
but it could be a long time.
you said that
We don't want those people. You understand that?
I understand.
You understand it?
I understand.
Who are you with?
I'm with News Nation. So
Okay,
my
News
name's
Nation.
Lindsay.
News Nation. Great.
Thank
Let
you.
me just tell you something. We don't want those people. Does that make sense? You know why we don't want them? Because many of them are no good, and they shouldn't be in our country.
What do you mean by those people? Can you
The people
clarify?
from different countries that are not friendly to us, and countries that are out of control themselves. Countries like Somalia that have virtually no government, no military, no police. All they do is go around killing each other. Then they come into our country and tell us how to run our country. We don't want that.
Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need it. We don't want it. I have absolutely no desire. And by the way, I look, like, let's start with the third world. We always say worst first, and then we go to the rest next. I don't want any immigrants coming in from anywhere. At least, if you want to say, well, we could take these people in from the first world, but we can't right now because we're full, right? I don't think everybody understands. Like, if I was to take this bottle of water and pour it into this mug and pour it all the way up to the top, it's like, but the water is so good and pure. Yes, but the mug is full. So I can't pour any more water into the mug or else the water's going to overflow. We are full. You get it? We can't take any more from anywhere, right? We can't take any more from anywhere because we're full. We don't need to, we're already overflowing. We're boiling over. We don't need any more people from any other country. I don't care if it's Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Belgium, or if it's Afghanistan, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, or as I said on Friday, your sister's Assistan. I don't care where these people are from. We're full. We can't take any more in. You can't pour any more into the mug. It's going to start to overflow, and there's going to be hot coffee all over the place, and your hands are going to get sticky, and everything's going to get messy, and we don't want any more mess. We're already dealing with a mess. We don't need a bigger mess, okay? We are full capacity, no vacancy, no space. The cost of housing is through the mother-loving roof right now. Why do you think that is? Well, you do have, in some cases, companies like BlackRock who are buying up houses and renting them, and that takes away from some supply on the market, right? But it's not just houses, it's rent, apartments, etc. There's too much competition. There is too much of a demand for housing in this country right now. And one of the reasons for that is that you've got 20, 30, maybe 40, maybe even 50 million people in this country who shouldn't be here. It should be difficult to come into the United States of America. It should not be easy. There should not be a program like the Asylum program where you can just come on U.S. soil, right? Walk into the country. Asylum! It's like when you were a kid playing tag and you had to say, Ali, Ali, Oxenford, and they couldn't be tagged, right? Like this, safe. No, you're not safe. Go away. Go be safe somewhere else. Look, this whole idea that asylum is a human right, that's fine. The world can think that. We don't have to play along, right? The world thinks men can be women too. We're not playing along with that. And if you're going to be these international organizations, whether you're the UN or you're these NGOs or these other countries, and you're going to wag your finger at the United States, how dare you turn away asylum seekers? We have no space for them. We're full. We can't bring them in. There's too many here already. We have to do some reverse migration and make some room. And even then, once we make some room, you know what? It's got to be difficult to come into the United States. It should not be easy to come into the United States and enjoy the benefits of being a member of the United States of America. You know, Costco makes you pay to go into the warehouse, right? You have to have a membership. Same with Sam's Club. Same with BJ's. Stop laughing.
Yeah, that used to be my initials.
Yeah.
Get your minds out of the gutter.
Yeah.
That's Brennan Julian.
It should be difficult to come into the United States of America. It should not be easy. We don't have these programs so that they can be exploited so that anybody around the world can come here and claim asylum. They come across the border and asylum. I must stay. I'm fleeing political persecution. Well, flee it somewhere else. Because it is not our job. It is not our duty. It is not our responsibility to welcome in everybody who claims to be fleeing political persecution or hostility, etc., etc. It's just not. And right now, that goes not just for the third world or the second world. It goes for the first world. It goes from whatever world you're from. We can't take you in. You know why? We're full. No vacancies. Go somewhere else. And to the folks who have asylum claims pending in the United States, every last one of those claims, I don't care where they're from, indiscriminately should be rejected. Go claim asylum in another country. We're full. We can't take you. We can't do this right now. There are national security risks. People are dying. People are threatening to blow up buildings in Texas. You've got a massive Somali fraud machine going on in Minnesota that apparently Tim Walz was 100% knowledgeable about and just decided not to shut it down because he's owned by that group, by that voting bloc. Because, you don't want to be a racist. Why are you targeting Somalis? Because they're defrauding the American taxpayer. That's why we're targeting Somalis. If they would play by the rules and assimilate, we wouldn't care. We're full. No vacancies. Every asylum claim that is pending right now should be rejected. Those people should be reverse migrated or relocated somewhere else in the world. You don't have to send them back to their home country. Send them to another country that's willing to give them their asylum and safe haven. We can't do it. Sorry. And on we go. We got more from the Department of Homeland Security. We'll have more from the Department of Homeland Security in just a second. And then I've got an amazing story out of Idaho. You guys are going to love this story out of Idaho. But we're going to get there in just a little bit. Before we do that, I got a word from our friends over at goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. Let's see if I can find it. There it is, goldencrestmetals.com/LFA.
Hey everybody, Jeremy Harrell here. Look, I want to talk to you a little bit about gold and silver. When I was a kid, I always wondered what Fort Knox must look like. And when I was a kid, I always envisioned that when you would walk into Fort Knox, you would see just gold everywhere, literally raining gold, kind of like what you see behind me right now. Unfortunately, as a grown-up, I don't have that kind of imagination anymore, and I don't even have that much trust that Fort Knox has the 5,000 tons of gold that we're supposed to have there. Meaning that decades ago, we went off the gold standard in this country, which took the value of our dollar down to just mere pennies. And since our federal government doesn't want to go back to a gold standard currency, then it's time to us to take matters into our own hands. Have you ever thought about buying gold and silver? Have you ever thought about taking portions of your IRA or your 401k or your nest egg or your savings and putting it into gold and silver, either all or a portion of it? Have you ever wanted to purchase silver like this in bullion or premium? I know I do. And I know I wanted to take matters back into my own hands, which is why I have worked with Golden Crest Metals to do that. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA is going to be your go-to, absolutely transparent and trusted partner. Now, you can go to that website or you can call 888-308-4202. And what the good thing about this is they're going to guide you. They're going to talk to you. They're going to guide you. They're going to give you all the answers to your questions. And there's going to be no hidden fees. It's completely transparent. No hidden fees. No pressure, no surprise markups whatsoever. Clients get to see everything before they purchase. They've even agreed to lower the minimum investment to the LFA audience in order to make sure that everybody has access to this. Free IRA storage, free insured shipping, and a full range of precious metals from gold, silver, palladium, and platinum. And if it's easier for you to just maybe click a QR code, well, guess what? We've got that available for you too. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. Click this QR code on your screen and it'll take you right there. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA. Again, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA, or call 888-308-4202 today to reach these guys. They're going to be a great partner for you, just as they have been for me, and we absolutely recommend here at LFA TV, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA.
That is goldencrestmetals.com/LFA, goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Golden Crest, for being a part of the show. Folks, it's that time. Captain Shitties. You guys know all about it. I had so much Captain Shitty salsa over the course of this Thanksgiving, watching football, just eating and eating and eating and eating some more. But now I'm back into keto, right? The sweats are starting to to happen again. But this is Captain Shitty's salsa, folks. CaptainShitty's.com, CaptainShitty's.com. Captain Shitty's Southwest salsa is not just a dip. It is a high seas adventure for your taste buds. Avast ye landlubbers! The captain bellows from the jar. Inside, treasure awaits a booty of bold jalapenos, swashbuckling onions, and a goldmine of ripe tomatoes. This chunky, briny concoction is rumored to be forged from salvaged doubloons and pirate tears. One taste and you'll be singing shanties and walking the plank for more. It's got a spicy swagger that would make Blackbeard blush and a tangy zest. Dive in if you dare. To Captain Shitty's Liquid Gold at CaptainShitty's.com, SCHIDDYS, CaptainShitty's.com. And today is the last day of the Black Friday Cyber Monday promotion. They're giving away 2 $100 gift cards as part of the Black Friday special. All you got to do to be entered is to win. To win is to make a purchase. The number of items that you purchase equals the number of entries you get thrown in the raffle. So if you have one order with 6 items, you got 6 entries. Anyone who's ordered thus far, you're already entered in. For an additional entry, you can go to their Facebook page, Captain Shitty's, and share it and like it as well. All Captain Shitty merch is 30% off. All Captain Shitty merch is 30% off. Shirts, hats, etc. And the winners are going to be announced Tuesday, December 2nd. That is tomorrow. Shitty, shitty, bang, bang, as Amanda Collins says. That is CaptainShitty's.com. CaptainShitty's.com. I had a great time eating that salsa this weekend. I will tell you what. I ate a lot of food this weekend. We both did. And by Saturday, we were like, ugh, is it over yet? And we kept eating, and we nailed most of it, right? The Thanksgiving food.
There's only a little left, and I don't know if I'm gonna finish it.
I'm eating the turkey because the turkey is, first of all, I like turkey. That's pretty good.
I'm eating the crust off of the mac and cheese.
She's eating the mac and cheese crust. The crust. Department of Homeland Security has flagged a bunch of criminal cases linked to you nailed it, Afghan refugees. Oh, really? Is one bad one going to spoil the bunch? Is 5,000 Afghan refugees going to spoil the whole 100,000? Yep. Yeah, it's exactly what's going to happen. Because 5,000 people is a lot of people. It may not seem like a lot when you think the country, 330 million or however many it is now. 5,000, that's a small number. That's not a small number. 5,000 people can do a lot of damage. Department of Homeland Security released a list of several Afghan nationals accused of security issues in the United States, highlighting concerns about dangerous Afghan migrants who entered the country during the Biden administration. Quote, tens of thousands of unvetted Afghan aliens have hurt and terrorized Americans after the Biden administration flooded our communities with criminals, terrorists, and other threats, DHS posted on X over the weekend. These are just a few of the criminals who have rewarded American generosity with violence, the agency added, while sharing several examples. Among those named was Barullah Nouri, an Afghan evacuee arrested at Fort McCoy in Wisconsin and charged with attempting to engage in a sexual act with a minor. What is it with these people and the pedophilia? What is it? Why? Like, I don't want that coming into my country. I saw a video on X over the weekend of Muslims saying that, having sex with a 9-year-old is not pedophilia if the 9-year-old, consents or has certain hormone. Yes, it is. It's pedophilia. You're disgusting. Get out. According to a 2021 indictment, Nouri sexually assaulted more than one minor at Fort McCoy. He was charged with 1 count of attempting to engage in a sexual act with a minor using force and 3 counts of engaging in a sexual act with a minor, with one of those counts alleging the use of force. The indictment stated that the victims were under 16 years of age. The incident also included Muhammad Harun Imad, who was charged with assaulting his spouse. Nice guy. They're here for a better life, They're here that's what they do. Criminal complaint said the victim claimed Imad threatened to send her back to Afghanistan where the Taliban could deal with her. I thought the Taliban were nice now. That sounds like it would be a good thing. Oh, that was a lie too. Both men were arrested by the U.S. Marshal Service. Another individual highlighted was Jamal Wali, an Afghan national who entered the country through Operation Allies Welcome. Not welcome. Wali shot and wounded 2 police officers in Fairfax, Virginia during a routine traffic stop. He was killed by return fire and allegedly declared, "I should have served with the effing Taliban." Well, might as well, because you did. The issue of Afghan refugees has moved to the center of the immigration debate after the National Guard tragedy last week, where U.S. Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom was killed, and the other gentleman, Andy, is fighting for his life right now. There have been encouraging signs, but he's got a long way to go. So continue to pray for Andy. Here is what Kristi Noem said about the Afghans that have come into our country.
That's the irresponsibility that has completely devastated our country, Kristen, put us in such a dangerous position. I don't think people realized when Joe Biden was in the White House exactly how he was allowing our country to be infiltrated with people that we didn't know who they were. Some of them we did know were dangerous, and we went after as soon as they came into this country. But under this program, we could have up to 100,000 people that came in from Afghanistan that may be here to do us harm. And President Trump is absolutely dedicated to getting them out of our country.
And Kristen Welker was like, okay, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. This is not what you're supposed to be saying. We can't have our viewers hear this. Stop it! Too late. They don't belong here. They don't respect our culture. They do not want to assimilate. And I'm not just saying this about Afghans. The majority of these immigrants, these asylum seekers that have come in, whether it's over the southern border or wherever they are, they don't want to assimilate. They don't want to provide value to the country. They just want to take advantage of what the country might give them. That's all it is. Not only do we not have room for that, we don't have room for anybody, but we especially don't have room for that. Well, immigrants have built the country and they came in, 100, 200 years ago. Oh, okay, I get it. Like, I understand that, but there's a totally different. Well, some of these asylum seekers are really escaping. They're really fleeing a really bad situation. Why must they come here? Are there no other countries in the world that will take them in? Why is that? And for these the international courts and these international organizations, how dare the United States can't do this? That's racism. Really? It's not racism. We're not taking anyone. No more. I want to take a laugh break. Because remember, last week, Donald Trump made a post on Truth Social and he called Tim Walz retarded. Oh, you're not supposed to use that word. Oh, okay. The left calls us Nazis, fascists. They celebrate when we die. They, cheer on political violence on the sidelines with pom-poms. We've been swatted. Hundreds of other people have been swatted across the country. There are death threats that are levied against people like us every single day. Assassination attempts. But Donald Trump uses the word retarded, and it's like, oh, this guy is evil. You know what? It's a word. I don't care. And the fact that the mainstream media wants to harp on this and build this into something that it really isn't is ridiculous. But here's Donald Trump after being questioned. Do you stand by what you call Tim Walz? Think about it. You're a journalist. You're supposed to be a journalist. And this is the question that you're asking the president of the United States. Give me a break.
In that same post, you mentioned Tim Walz, and you called him what many Americans do find an offensive word, retarded. Do you stand by that claim of calling Tim Walz retarded?
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with him. Absolutely, sure.
But you don't think that...
You have a problem with him? You know what? I think there's something wrong with him. Anybody that would do what he did, anybody that would allow those people into his state and pay billions of dollars out to Somalia. We give billions of dollars to Somalia. It's not even a country because it doesn't function like a country. It's got a name, but it doesn't function like a country. Yeah, there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, I love that. Somalia has a name, but doesn't function like a country. Yeah, there's something wrong with him. What do you think? He was going to say, I never should have used that word. I'm sorry. You think he was going to apologize to you? Give me a break. These people, and you wonder why he said quiet piggy to one of them. Because they're animals. They're animals. Stop dehumanizing journalists. Animals. All right. You guys got to see this story out of Idaho. This is great. We may have to go to Idaho now to take advantage of what this bar is doing out in Idaho. Merry Snitchmas, they're saying. A saloon. This town ain't big enough for the two of us. Draw. A saloon in Idaho is promising free beer to American citizens willing to help ICE catch illegal aliens. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go to Idaho, get wasted, and go find some illegal aliens and get them out. This bar is awesome. An Idaho saloon is helping President Donald Trump crack down on illegal immigration in a unique way. The Old State Saloon in Eagle, Idaho, made an announcement Saturday on social media that ignited a firestorm online. Quote, alert. Anyone who helps ICE identify and ultimately deport an illegal from Idaho gets free beer for 1 month at Old State Saloon. I'm going to Idaho. I can't wait. Not for the free beer, but I want to shake these people's hands. Old State Saloon. Old State Saloon. When word of the deal spread online, the Department of Homeland Security reacted with a gif of a dinosaur character dropping what appeared to be a beer can while it had a dumbfounded look on its face. That's some funny. The meme game is on point. If you'd like to claim your free beers, send a detailed email with any evidence, photos, videos, summary of events, dates, and times to deportations@oldstatesaloon.com. Best bar in the whole country. What do you think? I think other bars should do this. Free drinks for anybody who gets an illegal alien deported for a month. Deport 12 illegal aliens, you drink free for the whole year. I think it's great. So, hey, anybody want to go to Idaho? Want to take a trip to Idaho?
Yeah.
Eagle, Idaho? Even you don't even drink.
No, I don't.
So I'll drink for her. So if she gets an illegal deported, I get.
But I'll still tell them where the illegals are.
Yeah.
I don't got a drink to do
Well, then
that.
I'll just take your.
free.
I'll take your free drink
That's fine, too.
thing. You know.
Okay.
So that's 2 months. We'll work as a team. You see
All
where
I gotta go is to Home Depot. Hombre Depot.
Yeah.
Just.
We just go to Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Okay. And we just like, hey, you from here? And he starts running.
Homo Deporto.
You know, you call ICE, you video the whole thing, walk into the Old State Saloon, and you get tanked. There's no better way to do it. I love it. Old State Saloon. So, hey, maybe we'll reach out to them. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. I'm just looking to see anything else here. Old State Saloon. Hey, Mark, saw your ex post. Direct people to report the Dovetail Apartments in Meridian. More than half of people at the complex are illegal aliens, speak zero English whatsoever, and drink beer outside and yell and fight late into the night, 7 nights a week. My buddy's truck got peed on by one of them a couple weeks ago. Oh, all right. I dare one of these people to pee on my truck. Then I'm going to get in the truck and run them over. That's what's going to happen. You pee on my truck, you're getting run over. 10 points.
10 points.
Bing, 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 bing. I think we may reach out to that bar. What do you think? We give them a call today?
Sure.
This is your favorite president. I think you're great
they
people.
would love that.
I think you're great people. All right? I think you're really fantastic. I don't drink, but I know somebody who does, okay? I think we're going to do that. Maybe we'll do that. All right, we're going to get to Tim Walz in a second. But before we get to Tampon Tim, I want to get to a word from our friends over at Armra Colostrum. It is tryarmra.com/LFA TV, TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. It's 15% off of your first order, but now 20% off site-wide with code Black Friday, 30% off your first subscription with Holiday 30. But you got to go to tryarmor.com/LFA TV. Look, there it is, right there on your screen. Folks, you know I'm always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity and my gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, and enhance my skin and hair radiance. That is what Armra Colostrum can do for you and more. It's the first nutrition we receive in life. Colostrum is. We get it when we're little. We're tiny little people. Little baby people. Small, very small people. And then we stop. That is until now. Now you get a hold of some Armra Colostrum. You can get that nutrition from Armra Colostrum. It can help you reactivate your hair growth and help your skin glow. Colostrum stimulates stem cells and collagen production, increasing elasticity for plumper skin, guarding against UV damage, chemicals and pollutants from the environment, and it helps clear blemishes for a glowy complexion. Remember when Dylan was on the show and he was just glowing through the screen? He takes Armra Colostrum too. Yes, and he's a hockey player too and a coach, and he works hard, and he's running for office. So he needs the armor colostrum, keeps him going. It's his fuel. Fortifies gut health and ignites his metabolism, and it helps fuel fitness, performance, and recovery. Check it out at tryarmor.com, TRYARMRA.com /LFA TV. Lima Foxtrot Alpha Tango Victor. That's tryarmor.com /LFA TV. Try TRYARMRA.com /LFA TV for 15%, although right now 30% off of your first order. Did you see what the Minnesota DHS employees on X did to Tim Walz yesterday? Holy moly. So there's this Somali fraud thing that's going on in Minnesota right now, where there was like in 2019, I believe it was something like $3 million worth of funds went to this autism research and treatments and whatnot in Minnesota, and that ballooned to like hundreds of millions of dollars. See, and this is why, and I'm not saying there has not been an increase in autism, because there has been, okay? But this is why, don't just look at numbers at face value. You got to think that there's some fugaziness baked into some of these numbers. Why did conservatives not bat an eyelash at this for years? Because they just pointed at vaccines and Tylenol and said it's... A lot of these Somalis that claimed their kids had autism were milking this system, taking this money, and sending it overseas to a terrorist organization. So here's what happened yesterday on X. A major, and this was in response to Dustin Grage, who's an amazing journalist out of Minnesota. Quote, no one was doing anything about red flags. He said it was like someone was stealing money from the cookie jar and they kept refilling it. This was a quote about Tim Walz and the Somali fraud scheme that's going on there. Mr. Walz, Minnesota's second-term governor who gained national attention last year as Kamala Harris's running mate in a White House bid, said this week that claims of racism did not hinder his administration's response to fraud, even though that's exactly what happened. He was threatened. They were threatened with racism, and they were essentially, you can't criticize the Somalis because that's racist. Here's what Tim Walz said when he was asked about this on one of these mainstream media shows. Might have been Kristen Welker as well. I'm not sure. I think so. Here's what Walz did. But Trump though. But Trump.
Well, speaking of the Somali community, President Trump is targeting them and your state in part. He's citing fraud as the reason for his crackdown. Dozens of people of East African descent have been charged, convicted, and sentenced for stealing more than $1 billion in taxpayer money from government programs during COVID. As you know, Governor, that is more than Minnesota spends each year to run its Department of Corrections. So I want to give you a chance to respond to this. Do you take responsibility for failing to stop this fraud in your state?
Well, certainly I take responsibility for putting people in jail. Governors don't get to just talk theoretically. We have to solve problems. And I will note, it's not just Somalis. Minnesota is a generous state. Minnesota is a prosperous state, a well-run state. We're AAA bond rated, but that attracts criminals. There's a reason Minnesota ranks as the top, lowest childhood poverty, best place for children to live. People are taking advantage of that. They're going to prison. That is totally disconnected with demonizing an entire group of people who came here fleeing civil war and created a vibrant community that makes Minnesota and this country better. But that's Donald Trump. Deflect, demonize, come up with no solutions. He's not.
It's Trump's fault. Okay, here you go. Let me just honk this hog for you guys, and I'm going to read this entire statement from the Minnesota Department of Human Services employees. Tim Walz is 100% responsible for massive fraud in Minnesota. We let Tim Walz know of fraud early on, hoping for a partnership in stopping fraud, but no, we got the opposite response. Tim Walz systematically retaliated against whistleblowers using monitoring threats, repression, and did his best to discredit fraud reports. Instead of partnership, we got the full weight of retaliation by Tim Walz, certain DFL members, and indifferent mainstream media. It is scary, isolating, and left us wondering who we can turn to. In addition to the retaliating against whistleblowers, Tim Walz disempowered the Office of the Legislative Auditor, allowing agencies to disregard their audit findings and guidance. Media and politicians supporting Tim Walz or the DFL agenda attacked whistleblowers who were trying to raise red flags on fraudulent activities. This is a cascade of systemic failures leading up to Tim Walz. Agency leaders appointed by Tim Walz willfully disregarded rules and laws to keep fraud reports quiet, even to the extent of threatening families of whistleblowers. These same leaders are not qualified for their jobs, instead getting leadership jobs via Tim Walz's friendship, so state governments were left floundering. DFL lawmakers refused to acknowledge fraud and deflected any serious conversation to stop fraud. Biased mainstream media such as WCCO and NPR showed absolutely no interest in covering fraud happening in our own state. Programs, especially in behavioral health and disability services, were built without any guardrails against fraud, all in an attempt to extract more funding from legislature and the federal government. As staff, we firsthand witnessed and observed fraud happening, yet we were shut down, reassigned, and told to keep quiet. Sometimes more. Leadership did not want to appear to discriminate against certain communities and were unwilling to take action such as stopping fraud that would have an adverse impact on their image. To date, no single agency leader has been held responsible for their role in fraud, whether it's Shireen Gandhi, Jess Geil, Jody Harpstead, Natasha Mertz, Eric Grundahl, or others. It is a structure created and maintained by Tim Walz, who has created an environment of interrelated agencies and institutions, including the media, that help foster fraud through retaliation and turning a blind eye in exchange for political gain in the form of high-power agency leadership, jobs, or other perks. This fraud has taken place in Somalia, in Minnesota, essentially Somalia, and Walz did nothing to stop it. The only question I have now is, was he receiving kickbacks? And I believe the answer is probably in some form. Right? Probably in some form. So is that why he didn't stop it? Or did he not stop it because he didn't want to be labeled a racist? Probably a little bit there, but there's got to be more than just he's trying to get good PR. I mean, this is probably disqualifying for Tim Walz going forward, and I wonder if enough pressure is going to be put on him to resign. I wonder. I do wonder. Minnesota's social services system was swamped on Tim Walz's watch, and this was run in the New York Times. This was run in the New York Times. How about that? You know if the New York Times is coming after you, it ain't good. Walz knows his re-election is on the line, particularly if Trump makes good on deporting Somali nationals who do not pass the revetting process. Get rid of all of them. Stealing U.S. taxpayer dollars. Faking something that's very serious, autism. And there has been a rise in autism. How much of it, though, is this now? In order to access funding. And then if you're shipping that funding to terror groups, no good. Jeremy Harrell is up next here on LFA TV, rumble.com/LFA TV with Live from America. As President Trump says, we will never give up, we will never give in, we will never ever surrender. And if all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your Monday. We'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, rumble.com/LFA TV. In the words of John Fetterman, good night, everybody. Bang, gavel. And in the words of your favorite president, thank you for your attention to this matter. We'll see you tomorrow.